YouTube. Back at it again with our bow staff. Ultimate large scale enjoyer. Let's go. Let's check it out. This is the full Blue Blast T1 build. There is T1.5 coming, so I just wanted to make sure I got this out. Let's go ahead and move my camera to a more sociable spot. I may turn it off here in a bit as well, actually. Let's just try up here. Okay. So you can see my stats here. You can see what I'm rolling with, kind of, but I'm gonna have to show you a little bit. So I ended up going with Heroic Hood of the Assistants. Not sure you knew this, but I did keep the here, let's change the volume a little bit. By the way, thank you everyone for tuning in. We're gonna get right into it. Hope you don't mind my non-BS thing. We're going in right into the gear. Let's go. Okay, so I kept my Deadeye for now. I believe it's best from what I've seen, and I ended up going with this because it has hit and crit. You do lose some stats from the blue item I was wearing, but it's overall good. This is the Heroic Hood of the Resistance. I guess you may not be able to read it. Let me go ahead and hide my. That's why I said I might have to hide it. So yeah, this Heroic Hood is really good. It comes from Boars. If you can't get it from Boars, it lit those super cheap. This is a quest item that you got. Obviously, you should have gotten this in the other video. It comes from the quest. If not, it should be very cheap as well. And I did go with the mana regen because that is what we are lacking most in. Even though you never really want to run out of mana and stuff if you don't want to. Right now, I have the feathered drakeskin gloves on still, as well as the Duskblood trousers still. So these three items are gonna be blue, and these two specifically are gonna stay blue. I'm gonna put the disclaimer gear wise until you get Shadow Harvester pants. You will wear these pants. In my opinion, they are the best blue pants for this build. They make you hit harder. They give you a little bit of dex. They give you all the stats you want. Why not? These gloves, unmesswithable, they have great stats, almost 10% range just from a set of gloves, plus all the traits you want. Why not? So they're even better, except for the fact that they're blue, than the Shadow Harvester gloves. So, at least range-wise. So until we get Shadow Harvester pants, there's no point in putting Shadow Harvester gloves on, if that makes sense. So that's my disclaimer. You will want to get these, however they come out in the dungeon, in December 5th, and the price will dramatically fall, so I recommend waiting until then. And yeah, that's why I don't really have them. Smile. And I just haven't gotten lucky from my guild. So these are Swirling Essence boots. These used to be, I think, only a drop from the dungeon and Litho, but I believe they come from, I'm almost positive they come from Desire now. The Hydromancers, the ones that used to drop just the hat, they now drop the boots as well. These are very good because they have the 4 perception, the critical hit chance, and I guess the stamina regen can't hurt, but it's mostly about the fact that they have the perception, the crit, and they kind of just fit into the build. Mostly because this build is a tri-endurance build, where you have you focus on 2 endurances, and then you have just enough of the other endurance to not get one shot. Kind of the idea here, because you're gonna be a glass cannon, but you want to be able to survive all the range stuff more, right? You also are no good if you get one tapped by the, just the CC of the first melee you hit. So that's kind of the conundrum. So that's where we're at. So we went with the Swirling Essence boots, and I think it's a good choice here because that we'll get into the jewelry, but they're really easy to get. All this stuff is really easy to get and really cheap to get. I'm a free-to-play player. It's one of the major choices behind all of this, as you may know from my free-to-play series. And I believe this gear should be attainable to everybody if they play the game. And nothing is special. None of the stuff I'm getting is super special. It will take time buying lithos, etc. But you can get all of this stuff rather cheap. Clasp of the Conqueror. I don't remember how I got this, but I got this really easily as well. May have been a litho as well. But I have Clasp of the Conqueror. This is a mostly stat necklace, but the mana regen in this build is kind of what I'm lacking. So it's really, really helpful, I'll be honest with you. So until I can get enough stats to wear this thing. Where is it? I know what I'm doing. Okay, yeah, here we go. The new necklace. If you can get away with wearing the new necklace, Cold Strength, I think is what it's called. Wearing the necklace. Yeah. Maybe it's on the necklace. Oh, it's not craftable. That's why. Check it out. I was like, I'm not crazy, am I? Well, shut up. It's the YouTube video. Don't ask questions. Okay, look. Blam! Necklace of cold... I would icy strength. Oh, they changed it. Oh, okay. That's fine. It's not cold. It's icy. The translation was bad because they just came out with it last week. And the necklace has been updated. So this specific necklace is amazing. It's got like hit chance, HP on it. It's pretty good. It's the PvP necklace you buy from the PvP vendor. It's very good. It also has strengths. So the thing is, I need the perception right now, but like I said, if I could fit it in, I would. So, yeah. But that's why I'm wearing this. For now, I'm wearing the Edge Alabaster to give me some attack speed as well as strength. I feel like I could probably put like a band here or something else here, and it would be better. But for now, obviously, this is what I have. I don't really know what new accessories are going to come out, so I'm not really messing with it just yet. I'm trying to get what I have up here fixed up. And the Sapphire Dimensional Band, this I've had, and this is very good, mostly because I stack range. So I do like the 4 Wisdom and 4 Perception on this ring now. That's really hard to mess with. And if you'll notice, I have collision chance and collision resistance on all my traits that I can. Anyways, I don't have this one yet, or this one yet. But not only is it one of the cheaper traits, but it's really useful in this build for PvP, for not being caught up in other people's CCs, and well, you can CC other people much better with Tornado. So you'll get like really big tornadoes. Anyways, Flame Rot Bindings is really nice because it's another stat thing, mostly because you see all the melee endurance and the max health, and it has more collision resistance, so it kind of just fits into all of the build. And then it has, guess what, has really good traits, but most importantly, that's the other melee, the large amount of melee that we get that gives us just enough melee to not get one tapped. All right, so this is where we ended up with gear for tier 1. Like I said, you can replace these two with the you want to replace these two with the Shadow Harvester pants and gloves. And there's gonna be some 1.5 to 2. I'm not sure if I'll do a 1.5 build and a 2 build. We probably will, because there'll probably be some enhancements. I might be able to get that necklace or something like that. But for now, this is gonna give you the most stats in my build. You'll see I have like 1050 range crits, 1140 range hits, with pre-food, which is with no food. Yeah, I believe that's all gear wise. I went over all the gear slots. I will say if you ever can run a Bellandir staff, do that. If you can ever run the other bow, Tevin's bow, do that. They're both absolutely amazing. And then just put in the extra work. You might have to get like a bloodlust and a ring, the ring that gives all the stats to make it worth. But if you could ever get the chance, by all means use those. I just made sure I was using all cheap items just to make sure it ran easily. Now that we got all the gear out of the way, let's move this down just a little bit. Sorry if that was a little too loud. Now that we got all the gear out of the way, let's go into the skills. So I have a couple different sections. Excuse me. I have a couple different sections. I guess I can turn my camera back on. I have a couple different sections. I'm going to show you my specializations on all my sections for the skills. I want you to pause the video and check them out. I will say I did change these like 1,000 times earlier before the video and it rattled my brain. So there might be some discrepancies and some inconsistencies. And I'm going to have to make one of those max roll things for you guys eventually. So we'll get there. Alright, so this is my PvE. You'll notice I don't have a ton into bow for PvE. And mostly in my staff. You'll see we got, and I can explain the line of thinking behind this. So fire bombs, chain lightning, fireball barrage, high focus, judgment lightning, hellfire rain. This is all, well, I'm a staff enjoyer and kind of figured out that you insta stack, you know, your heavy attack passive, and you kind of do a fuck ton of damage. We'll show you in a second. But let's get right into the rest of the stuff. So this is my PvE specializations, right? So I showed you my PvE specializations. I show you my large scale specializations. You should have paused the video, I guess, if I did that. Sorry. Large scale specializations are a little different. I have flash wave, then I have blitz, I have one in heal, and I use decisive as an AE, and we do have tornado right here. So you'll see that we ended up with 61 in the bow here, mostly bow in large scale, technically. And then we'll look at the staff. Sorry, I do have Zero Bomb 3, Judgment here, Chain Lightning has none, Hellfire. So they buffed this on today's patch. I believe it's just really, really good. So I've been liking the Hellfire Rain in general, but to each his own. You can get rid of this. Just use a normal meteor and it hits really, really hard, to be honest. But the rain does kind of nice now, to be honest. Yeah. And then the blast. This one's gonna be my small scale. This is my small scale arena or smaller scale fighting, like a event PvP stuff. I do a lot of arena on all my characters, so that's what this is. So you can look at this. You guys, you can pause on this. This might got a couple decisive Zephyrs strafing all the way up. You can literally just with this, you can literally just strafing Zephyrs, knock someone, they're dead. It's actually hilarious. Still have flash wave. Wait, sorry, brain. Here, all fire bombs. Let's focus fire bombs. OP. Chain lightning. You'll notice you don't have obviously the PvE thing, even though the picture is lying to you. You don't have the third one here. Oh, wow, it looks like that. Nice bug. Same with this. But yeah, you can see here, this is my arena blast. Perfect. I'm gonna give you some examples of everything. Now I'm gonna let you look at the hotbars for each one. So this is my arena blast. We're gonna do it in reverse order. Sorry, but you guys, like I said, you'll have to just pause the video put what you want. This is my hotbar for Arena Blast. One thing to note, basically you throw this first, charge it up, right? Don't forget to charge it like I did for a long time on stream, or they will make fun of you. But yeah, charge it up. And after you charge it up, a lot of people, I mean, you can literally just start going into judgment and probably kill a lot of people. But if it's just one person, I like to just go start pressing strafing, to be honest. And then just blow them up with Zephyr's Knock right as I hit Judgment Lightning. Because if they're tanky, this will destroy a tanky person and probably some people around them, right? So it's kind of nice. Because your lightning and everything kind of blows up at the same time, and you already eat it once and it should be burning. It's kind of a cool thing. It's kind of a really cool combo with the way it works. Small scale. I have the freeze. Notably, it's not leveled up. Don't make fun of me too much. But I only really use it like arena and certain things, but it is here in the video because this is the small scale setup. I love decisive, but I don't use the AE version. I use this just to kill tanks. So when they leave me alone for just a second, I charge this up into the other combo, basically, and it deletes them. And sometimes if I need to, you can actually reset this into this. I just then delete them because this does make this stronger. Well, I don't think I have it leveled up to make it stronger, but it's okay. Sometimes, like I said, you just need to shoot it twice. I do have Flash Wave. Flash Wave is very strong, and it you can just kill the whole team with it. Resetting it twice. It's 10 out of 10. Yeah, this is my hotbar for a small scale. I have to have inner peace because I do be killing and surviving, and if you survive long enough, then that's it. These are my passives that I run. Pretty much, I think the same passives for everything. I used to run the shield passive all the time, but I find it's less useful. If you had it fully leveled up, it might be okay a little bit in the arena. For example, if you want to survive greatsword combos, which doesn't mean you really will, to be honest with you, but if you really are having trouble staying away from greatswords, which by the way, you just need to freeze them before they get to you. That's what you do with the greatsword. You just always freeze the greatsword, by the way. But if you can't freeze the greatsword and you're having trouble, you could potentially throw in devoted shield instead of well, instead of just about anything, you could get rid of flame condensation. You could get rid of sniper sense. I'd probably get rid of sniper sense in the arena for the shield, and it's almost destined to help. Make sure you also have both of your heals up here. Stack both of these, and then that way when you get hit by him, going to 30%, your health will go all the way up. But alright, that's Blast. Might be the same passives for large scale. Let's look. They look exactly the same to me. Okay. So those are the same exact passives for large scale. I'm almost positive. Damage is damage, baby. So large scale, small scale, same passives, not an issue. You can, like I said, run some more healing. This one or this one instead of some of this damage, because you do an absolute F ton. I just like to focus on what I'm good at. So it's just kind of a preference thing. I will say in large scale, we'll go over this. Not really rotation. You're just kind of throwing AE stuff and what you could do different on large scale. So everybody has the focus fire bombs. You need this. Charge it up. Make sure you use this before you use all your cooldowns. It makes them go faster, hit harder, etc. If you're endurance, you don't need the other version, the evasion version. But if you want to, you can still get it for the hit. I recommend the damage boost though. You need the damage boost, and makes all your cooldowns come back faster. Make sure you don't use this on an engage. Tornado is a purely disengaged skill. However, it is very important for large scale, and that's with all the collision chance, really helpful in the build. That and knocking people back, I think, with Zephyrs. So all that is really good. And so yeah, basically this is kind of like your go-to. You can literally throw this at someone and then literally start strafing him into a Zephyr's Knock Judgment and kill nearly everyone around him. And if there's anyone low, you throw in Decisive, then they're all dead, right? And that's like when you're fighting post Flash Wave, because let's be honest, every engage pretty much starts off with Flash Wave, Limit Break, Flat. Well, actually, I'm sorry. You have to run this. High Focus, then Flash Wave, then Limit Break, then Flash Wave, then you do Focus Firebomb, since it, whatever else, like I said. So it sometimes you'll use Decisive earlier if you can get away with it. It really depends. I really like the new Hellfire Rain. This is kind of like a choice thing. They made it much better in my opinion. It's up to y'all though. Sometimes most people run the normal media. Yeah, that's my large scale. If you have the bell in your staff, you obviously, I think you'd run the other thing. You wouldn't run Focus Firebombs, so you can have more chances of burns. I don't have a boner staff. GG. Okay, so PvE. This one's a little bit different, not much. Same thing applies. We went over the specializations earlier, but you'll notice it's got mostly staff, not bow, and that's because I'm a staff enjoyer and I just enjoy staff. This seems to be the best I've figured out because it takes advantage of the projectiles and all the burning staff passives. And yes, let's get right into it. So these are my passives here: condensation, mana amp, snipers, Roxy's, and then I have actually mana ball here. These are my skills: focus firebomb, Zephyr's Knock, fireball barrage, strafing, chain lightning with the actual pool version, hellfire rain. We got high focus, we got deadly marker, we got judgment lightning, we got inferno wave, and we got healing touch, and we got inner peace. I'm gonna explain the PvE rotation a little bit for y'all because this really confused me. It wasn't really explained very much why you do all this stuff, why you play it a certain way, and I just didn't understand. So let's just go ahead and get it. So basically you want to start with 7, which is high focus. Makes all your long cooldowns take less time. Then you want to use your meteor first. Ooh. So you'll notice basically in one rotation everything went bye-bye, and I kind of messed that up, but that's fine. So basically you always want to start off with marker and high focus and then go right into your lowest cooldown. Basically, let's start over. I just started doing it in front of you. I didn't really explain it. I'm so good at being a YouTuber. So let me hit this thing. As you see, this build hits very hard. All right, start over. You always want to use high focus into mark. The first thing I did was mess it up. The reason being, high focus lowers all your cooldowns, and then mark does a bunch of buffs in PvE versus that. And then you do from there you want to use your long cooldowns here like this. You see how it immediately deleted that thing before it even got done? Pretty important to use everything. One reason to do all this is as you get more burn. So these all add burn stacks that make you hit harder, more heavy attack chance, right? And then the more burn stacks makes this do more damage, right? And this does way more damage against monsters and people, which is why you really use it against monsters really well. I never liked using it against people, but it's some people really like it. It PvE in the arena because it drains mana. It's whatever. But what this does is you start with this. You start with this into this, and you get a bunch of burn stacks up. Okay, and you've used this to make all your cooldowns come back faster, and you also move faster. Fun fact. And also gives you more damage with the specialization you have. This thing gives you a bunch of hit and crit on whatever you put it on. And after you've gone through everything, then you want to do your Judgment Lightning. Because when you use your Judgment Lightning, if you have a bunch of burning stacks, you have a lot higher chance of it going off twice. That's why it goes at the end. And by then you can kind of use this again and then this again as it goes, if that makes sense, because their lower cooldown stuff will be off. And then at the very end of your rotation, use Inferno Wave, because what that does is that it gives you a very high chance, like 70% chance, I believe, of, it says inflict additional burning. What that does is that refreshes the burning stacks. So 70% chance is a lot, and it has a high chance of going off twice. And so yeah, that's your PvE rotation. That's why you do it in that order. I frequently mess it up, as you'll see on stream. I don't even often run my PvE stuff. I mess it up all the time, but that's how you do it. And there you go. I will say I'm gonna go over the PvP rotation a little bit, just standing here, and then I'm gonna show an example of it. So you'll see in PvP, it's very similar, except you don't have Mark. Mark is just a PvE thing only, and you're not as much focused. You're more focused on hitting groups of people, right? So you like high focus, and then you flash wave. They're like, oh, there's a bunch of people. You let go, you reset. Now you got your enhanced flash wave. You go, oh, there they go. Boom. Ideally, they're all dead. You throw this out. Ideally, while high focus is still up. You start charging this up. You shoot that into them. And by then, you're ready to charge. Now, you don't have to shoot this, but it's not bad because it's your higher cooldown. Then you throw your... hopefully, that should kill 3-4 people because you're the best, right? At least. 100%. So you have to tab onto someone else. You tab the other guy, and then you fireball, strafing, Zephyr's knock, Judgment Lightning. That guy's dead too. So you could kill a potential whole group of people with this, and then a whole group of people with this, and then your flash wave could also kill another group of people. And you do a lot of AE damage with this, because I have left out the fact that this has been buffed. So if you can get this, when you get this off, you're actually gonna just drop a couple people. If it drops if you get it off, well, you will. I believe in you. Omega Lord. If you don't like this, I completely understand. You can either not run the other meteor, or what I do is I'll run mana regen a lot instead of meteors sometimes, and just keep the mana regen. Now, every time you're disengaging, you're gonna want to pull back. Like, this is something I never did. I never did before, and I tried to do it a little bit in the end of Siege, and I was getting bad at it. Something you need to do when you pull back, you put that up, and that puts all the enemies in the air. Very important to the build, because it's very important to large scale. Okay. Now, on that same note, I'm not gonna leave you too open-handed. We're gonna watch a little bit of Tax Cart. Give you a little bit idea of how to do this. Let's see if I can do this properly. Good streamer. All right. So if you don't know, I stream almost every single day. Right now, I only take Wednesdays off, and I normally start around 4 p.m. CST. But this is Tax Cart Defense, and right now I am essentially using that large scale build you just saw, with a little bit different, and I am defending Tax Cart with the Mighty reassembled and Ethereum. I want to give a disclaimer: you cannot see all the enemies on the scene, even though I can see all these guys back here and these guys back here, but for some reason you can't see them all on the screen. I don't know why my game was like that, but It is what it is. Maybe it was a bug. I'm not sure. But you'll notice I'm kind of playing with my group. The reason you run endurance is nobody here, even the melees, they can't really completely crit you all the time. So no one should be totally getting you down, so to speak. Wow, that was a hard hit. No one should be getting you down, this, so to speak, and you should be doing pretty well. Let's see how we can go here. All right, all right. Look at that. Look at that damage from one flash wave. And then you put, I actually did both healing touches on myself and I just walk away. Very good example. Stay with the group. Use that healing potion up. Just keep taking people out. See like guild leaders popping up amongst me? I can barely see. One thing to notice, if you think you're having trouble with it, don't focus on the tornadoes at first. I was a little too focused on when to use a tornado, and then I like never even used it, to be honest. I was like thinking the whole time. I probably should have just kept like maybe the movement skill on my bar, and been a little bit more pro at moving. In retrospect, even it is ass, but it is like all we really have. So that's probably like the pro way. However, I feel like you only have so many skills in your bar, so it's really tough to make that call. To put that skill in your bar. However, this is a good example of what large scale looks like. I hope y'all want to watch some more. Tune in, and if you want to see the rest of this video is going to get put on up sometime this week as well. Let's go. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, comment, all that stuff. Subscribe on the YouTube, the algorithm gods. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to drop them in the comments. I do respond to all the comments. I absolutely appreciate all of you. And the only thing I can say is thank you for watching my video, and I hope it helps you out there. And Silicium, and let's have fun. How about those new battlegrounds? You're gonna want to be on these large scale gaming characters. The large scale king, the ultimate weapon. Staff, bow. Y'all have a beautiful day.